Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare
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 Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasant Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Jai Shri Krishna
Ram,
Chaitanya
Ram
Prabhu
Hare Hare,
Nityananda Shri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna,
Gadadara
Hare
Srila
Krishna, Krishna
Prabhupada
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
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 Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram 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 Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama
Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Krishna
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Nam Nam Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Hare,
Ram Nam Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
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 Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
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 Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram.
Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram
Hare,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram
Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare.
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram
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 Hare
Ram Hare
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
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 Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Radha,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
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 Hare 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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna.
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Hare,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Ram
Hare, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram.
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Hare
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
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 Rama
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Ram
Rama
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare
Ram Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna Krishna
Nityananda,
Hare Hare
Shri
Ram
Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura
Krishna
Bhakta
Krishna
Vrinda,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Ram
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram 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 Ram, Hare Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
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 Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Ram
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare. Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Hare Ram
Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu Nityananda Shri
Ram
Advaita
Ram
Gadadhara
Hare
Sivasati Gaura Bhakta
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram
Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Ram Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare Hare
Ram,
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 Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare.
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna
Jai
Krishna,
Shri
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Chaitanya
Hare
Prabhu
Ram,
Nityananda
Hare
Shri
Ram,
Advaita
Ram
Gadadara Shri
Ram, Hare
Vasari
Hare.
Gaura
Hare
Bhaktavrinda.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram
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 Hare
Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare 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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram,
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 Krishna
Ram,
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 Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Ram,
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 Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare, Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare.
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Yashoda Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Srimad Bhagavatam. Seven to 49. Hiranyakashipu, king of the demons. Atha nityam anityam va neha sochanti tadvidaha nanyatha shakyate kartum swabhava shochatamiti. Those who have full knowledge of self-realization, who know very well that the spirit soul is eternal, whereas the body is perishable, are not overwhelmed by lamentation. But person who lack knowledge of self-realization certainly laments. Therefore, it is difficult to educate a person in illusion. Yamaraj is saying it is difficult to educate a person in illusion. Okay. That means sometimes when somebody is set in their ways and in their thought, in their thinking, it's very difficult to change their thought. And like they say, you have to shed gallons of blood to make one devotee. Right? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said like that. You have to shed gallons of blood to make one devotee.
So to convince somebody of the importance of self-realization in this Kali Yuga is very difficult because everybody has a mentality of sense gratification and bodily conception of life. So it's very difficult for us also, right? I mean, it's not like only for others. So somehow we are trying, but it's very difficult in this Kali Yuga. So people are not very spiritually inclined. So to make them interested in spiritual life and to take the chanting of the holy name in a committed way, in a disciplined way, is very difficult because there are so many other things that are on the mind, so many material desires and so many distractions and anxieties and stress. So, okay. According to the Mimamsa philosophers, everything is eternal, Nitya. And according to the Sankhya philosophers, everything is Mithya or Anitya, impermanent. Okay. So whether it is false or it is eternal. Well, soul is eternal, body is impermanent. Nonetheless, without real knowledge of Atma, the soul, such philosophers must be bewildered and must continue to lament as Shudras. Sometimes Shudras are they lament for something that which is not to be lamented for. So, like we lament for material loss and loss of so many things like that. So that is Shudra mentality, to lament for material things. Sri Shukdev Goswami therefore said to Parikshit Maharaj, Shrota Vyadini Rajendra, Nrinam Santi Sahasrashaha, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. Those who are materially engrossed, being blind to knowledge of the ultimate truth, have many subjects for hearing in human society, O Emperor. So material world, there are so many subject matters to hear about. But those who are on the path of self-realization, they are not interested in. Mostly people talk about people, other people, and they talk about events that happen. But spiritualists, they talk about wisdom. They are they are attached to wisdom, the real truth of life. Otherwise, mostly people are talking about other people and events that are going to happen, I mean, in somebody's life and what has happened in their life and like that. But actually, we should be attached to wisdom. What is the actual substance, essence? So, for ordinary persons engaged in material activities, there are many, many subject matters to understand. And the more one knows about material subject matters, more one is considered like very knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable. Yeah, he knows so many things about so many different subjects. And he has many degrees. He knows so many things. But that's okay if you have that knowledge. But if you don't have knowledge of the self and your relationship with the Supreme, then all that knowledge is not of any use because it will not save you from death and from transmigration in this material existence. So that kind of knowledge is not so useful. It's useful because it helps you find a job and you get money and you can live your life little comfortably. That is there. But that's not real knowledge. Real knowledge is about you, who you are. This is the other knowledge is related to matter, how matter interacts, what happens when this chemical combines with this chemical, what is formed, and what are the characteristics of this metal and that metal, and what is the structure of the atom and all that. Yeah, that is all related to matter. So, but that doesn't produce life, and we are different from matter. So, okay. So, knowledge of the soul is more important than knowledge of matter. Although both can be, I mean, there, but comparatively speaking. So Prabhupada is saying that other knowledge, they don't talk about self, the soul. Like Prabhupada went to MIT and he said, oh, there are so many departments to physics department, chemistry department, and quantum physics, and applied mechanics, and thermodynamics, and so many. But where is the knowledge? Where is the department to understand the soul? So that not taught in the schools. And Bhagavatam says that without this, it is all defeat. There is a verse, Parabhavastavad jato yavanna jigyasata atmatattvam tavad kriyad idam manovai yavat kriyas tavad idam manovai karmatmaka yena sharira bandha. This is quoted in Bhagavad Gita also. So let's see. This is spoken by Rishabh.
555.
Yeah. Parabhava tavad. As long as one does not inquire into absolute truth, then he is subjected to defeat. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, means Atma Tattva, means who I am and what is the purpose, one is defeated and is subjected to miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its result and actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activity. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear, and as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, he has to accept a material body. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is impure, and we have to accept one body after another. One must therefore be educated in self-realization so that under any circumstances in life, he will remain steady in his vows. So, we have to be steady in our consistent. No matter what happens, we have to be steady on the path of self-realization. That is called nishtha. Nishtha means steadiness. So we should have the right intention, the right attention, and do the right action. And then be detached. Then be detached from whatever happens. So, in that way, we can always do the right thing. Whatever happens, I'm doing the right thing with the right intention, right action. Then whatever happens, happens. So, like I think Mahatma Gandhi said, burning passion coupled with absolute detachment. Or was it Mahatma Gandhi or who said? I was hearing a class in that. So we should have the burning passion to do the right thing. At the same time, in this material world, things will not always go according to, things will happen against. So we should remain steady in our vows, no matter. It is called integrity. Integrity means under any circumstances, I will remain steady in my. Of course, we may have fall downs and things like that, but then we learn and then we. So there is a nice quote from Mahatma Gandhi. He says, a burning passion coupled with absolute detachment is the key to all success. So burning passion to serve Krishna, but at the same time remaining detached. from whatever happens, whatever comes. So everything changes in this world. Our abilities will change, the facilities we have that will change, our identities will change, right? But the thing that remains steady is the soul. Identities will change in the sense that today I will say I am a young boy, tomorrow I'll say I'm an old man. So we are, but the thing that everything is changing in this world, and the thing that remains steady is the soul and soul's relationship with Krishna. That should not change. Okay. So we should not identify with the mind, but we should identify the mind. Means we should watch the mind. We should not think the mind, whatever it's saying, is me, is something that I have to fulfill, whatever the mind is saying. No, no. You take a step back and observe the mind. So, okay. And yesterday I was saying that, we have to give instruction to the mind. Otherwise, the mind will not comply. It goes away after some time. You have to constantly give instruction. Manashiksha means constantly instruct the mind. Like I'm chanting, after some time, the mind just goes away somewhere. Then you say, no, 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 mind, you have to come here. You have to pay attention to the holy name. You cannot go anywhere else. So, like that, you have to constantly instruct the mind. If you fail to instruct the mind, or they say if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. If you fail to instruct the mind, then the mind will take over. And when the mind takes over, then that's it. You don't know where you're going because the mind has its own agenda. As long as it's not pure, it has its. So we cannot trust the mind. So, okay. Anything else anybody like to say about this? Okay, so the next verse. These are all about self-realization.
I just
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is so. I just wanted to ask. Yeah, bringing your mind back during japa is not easy. Keep bringing it back. So, um, I mean, besides the fact that we have to keep telling the mind to bring it back, uh, what like how long does it normally take to at least get comfortable with for the mind and longer attention span? Um,
It's a
so that,
practice, right?
yeah.
So you have to, like, sometimes people are very nagging. Nagging means, understand nagging? Nagging
Yeah.
means you constantly, like, bother somebody with your request. So
Mm-hmm.
nagging means constantly harassing. So we have to harass the mind. Persistently, we have to try.
So
So
we have to harass them. We have to keep nagging the mind to come
nagging
back.
the mind to come back. Nagging. Okay, it's going nagging. Okay, bring it back. Bring it back. That word nagging is there, right? So it's in a negative way, right? Nagging,
Yeah.
but it's like you have to constantly, every now and then, you have to keep. Otherwise, your mind will not listen. So
Yeah. That's what I'm noticing for myself. I mean, it is. There are moments where it's right there, and then the mind goes somewhere, and I have to keep saying, "No, come back, come back, come back." But then sometimes I get lost in it.
yeah, I mean, I'm saying it, but it happens to everybody. So, and also overall, before you like chant, you make a little determination that this, I'm not going to think of anything or nothing is more important now than until I finish my rounds. So until I finish my chanting, until I do this service, nothing else is important. So mind, so from the beginning only you have made up your mind. Like today is fasting, right? Till noon, because it's Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day. So let's say if you decide to fast completely, that's it. You made a predetermination. So before you start your japa, that's what we say preparation. You have to prepare your mind, and but that's not enough, because then you lose it during the japa. So you have to constantly bring it, constantly like keep yourself motivated, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
you have to keep yourself motivated. You remember you know, the glories of chanting. What is this chanting, and like that. So sometimes you can tempt yourself and say, yeah, if I chant this one mantra nicely, I will get I'll get so much happiness. So they say you chant every mantra as if the success of your life depends on this one mantra that you chant. Like in Bhakti Tirth Maharaj's 4 points for community building, he says you interact with every person as if your success of spiritual life depends on your interaction with that person. So that we can also take to the chanting. The way I chant this Mahamantra in full attention and with, is it going to determine whether I'll get success. Success means Krishna, attachment to Krishna, like that. So we can tell our mind, and when the mind is attached, of course, for those who have got taste, for them it's not difficult. It's they automatically like it to chant like that. Like Rupa Goswami, he says, "Oh, it's so much taste in this chanting," and like that. So, but till that, we have to bring the mind. So
Yeah.
practice.
Maybe after every round. So this is the Japa affirmation book by Mahatma Das. That is one of the quotes that you are saying. I take every round seriously because my spiritual life depends on the good quality japa. I cannot afford to chant even one bad round. Yeah, after every round you can read one of these quotes or read a japa meditation.
Can you share those quotes? That's what I was thinking, that, because 16 rounds seems monumental for a mind that is, because you say, okay, that's going to be 2.5 hours or 2 hours.
Yeah.
But if we break it into chunks and say, okay, five rounds or 3 rounds or one round, so that I have to try that, because that for the mind, you have to, tricking the mind to say, okay, you're just sitting for one round at a time.
Yeah, Burijan Prabhu says every mantra. So
Yeah.
whatever works, yeah. I mean, how as frequently as you want, you can motivate yourself. One round may be too long because 108 mantras. So you may even get distracted after 10 mantras, right? So then, okay. Another way is you challenge your mind. How many mantras you can chant before your mind goes somewhere else? So like that, you can make a test for yourself, right? Like in Ashtanga Yoga, they hold the mind, right? They dharan. Dharan means they make the mind steady. So how long can our mind remain steady before it's like we all suffer from ADHD,
Yeah.
attention deficit, and all of that, because it's like one thing, then another thing, then this thing, and mind is like a monkey jumping from one thing to another thing. So you have to hold the mind steady. This monkey steady. They say monkey is like what? Mind is like a monkey bitten by a scorpion, intoxicated and bitten by a scorpion. So it's a mad mind. So, so how can we make this mind steady? That's the thing. So at least 2 hours we practice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
strong
Thank
determination also helps. Yeah, you have strong determination. Like today's Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's this appearance day. He had so strong determination. He was called the Siha Guru. Very strong determination. So we can pray to him so that we can get some determination. Of course, all the acharyas, Haridas Thakur and all, they had so strong determination.
Yeah, and sometimes I think we are also
maybe fighting our past, our samskaras.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going against the current.
In one purport, Prabhupada says, don't allow the mind to go anywhere. I mean, if it goes, then yeah, don't allow. So, like that, keep control, like that. He writes in one Bhagavatam purport I was reading, so it was saying like that. Mind should not be allowed. That means you can control the mind if you want. If it goes, you bring it back immediately. Don't let it remain in some other space for a long time. Then it's difficult to bring it back. As soon as it goes, you bring it, try to bring it back. Or don't let it go only. That's the best thing. But that's not so easy. So don't let it go. So we say nip it in the bud. Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsam Sangaste Supajayate. So don't allow it to dwell on other things, because more it dwells, then it's very difficult to bring it back. So, and then yesterday we were reading how Arjuna is admitting this mind is very chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna.
Pramathi kalavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye
Vayurima
vayuri.
sudushkaram. Yes. It is very restless, very obstinate, mad, agitating, and to control it is more difficult than controlling the wind, he says. So then, in that purport, Prabhupada writes that you should chant Hare Krishna in all humility. So whenever mind is, of course, we are chanting, that time only the mind is wandering. So, but but other times also, right? If the mind is, you're not chanting, let's say, and mind has gone somewhere, then you start chanting. You chant Hare Krishna in all humility, he says. So means you pray to Krishna very much and say Krishna and chant loudly. So this sound actually is also capturing the mind. Hare Krishna, as if calling to Krishna for help. That's humility. So, so like that, all these things, whatever works for everybody, it's different. Little bit this way, that way. Whatever works, some or other. Control the mind and bring it to Krishna. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna
Krishna negotiate.
shayet. Yeah, some or other. Whatever way you bring it, the mind to Krishna.
Yeah. And I think the other part is that even if, for me anyway, what I'm thinking that, when if you're bringing your mind back uh, during chanting, but not the rest of the day, then you're kind of, playing both the games here. So
Yeah.
during the rest of the day also, when you're doing other things,
Yeah.
you have to keep bringing the mind back so that the mind knows you have to stay with me all the time. Or you can't just wander whenever you
Yeah,
want to.
as much as possible, try to remain in devotional consciousness, right? Of course, when we have work, then we have to concentrate on our work and think about what's going, like what we have to do. But
Yeah, but even
otherwise,
I think, you're not thinking about work. You're thinking about what is being cooked at home, what I have to do to get home, milk on the way, you know. Um, so even with that, our duty, sometimes the mind still is multitasking.
but that also you can say, okay, I'm going to cook for Krishna at home. So now I have to buy some vegetables on the way back, or some milk I have to buy. So I'm going to. So you can connect it to Krishna like that. We were talking about that yesterday. So whatever.
Samadhi.
Huh?
Devotee is always in samadhi. This house belongs to Krishna. My body belongs to Krishna. Everybody in my house belongs to Krishna. I'm doing this for Krishna.
How Krishna will enjoy my cooking. I'll cook a nice meal and then I'll offer it. That's like also like a meditation if you want to cook like that or anything. Yeah, my children, they are also, part and parcel of Krishna. So how I can raise them so that they will become Krishna conscious and get out of the cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to Godhead. So that's also a meditation to help others. to become Krishna conscious. Okay.
Like we say, 22 hours in our day is a preparation for the 2 hours of chanting, like previous day. So we should be hearing Hari Katha whenever we get time, like while driving from one place to another, or reading a little Bhagavad Gita verses and anything. So, and remembering that, okay, I'm preparing my consciousness for tomorrow's chanting. Tomorrow I have to chant very nicely. Today I didn't chant. No, this was by mistake. So always meditating how I would be chanting in my chanting session tomorrow.
Like for exam, you prepare, right? So your exam tomorrow, then you're preparing today. So tomorrow, when you sit in the exam, I should have my when I used to take exam, I should have two pens, because if one pen stops working, then I will have another pen which will help me write. I mean, on those days, and then I should have my in school I should have my compass box, because I have to do the geometry. I have to do, we get the camel. I don't know if you're the camel. What do you call
Yeah.
that? Compass.
Pencils. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to take that with me. Tomorrow I'm going to do the exam. So if I should have the instruments too. So like that, I should be getting up. I should be doing this. I should sit down. I should maybe you're taking a bath and then sit down, and then it's like a meditation. And I will chant nicely. And you imagine yourself chanting nicely before you chant nicely also. So
Yeah. I think everything is related to the why. Why are we doing it?
yeah, why?
You relate it to Krishna, then yeah, intention. Why? What intention behind it? Everything.
Yeah, that if why that we call it Sambandha Gyan. If Sambandha Gyan is very deep, then your practice will also be very strong. So if you really understood your situation in this material world, who you are, your spirit soul, your part and parcel of Krishna, and everything is going to pass in this world. I am also going to pass from this world to my next destination. So let me prepare now, and so that I can go back to the ultimate destination and I can connect with Krishna. All these things, yeah, if you know, and the nature of this world. So, so another way is we hear here, but we should also meditate on what we have heard. That is Shravanam, then Mananam. So sometimes we hear one class and then we recap in our mind, okay, what is that I heard, and then how I can apply to better my Krishna consciousness. So that's also, we have to strategize and plan like that. Of course, I'm saying all this for me also. So, yeah, so in this way, yeah. There are not many classes of Prabhupada we should hear. One class every day, Prabhupada. Okay, because he's pure
Thank you.
devotee. When he speaks, then it will become like, it will affect our consciousness. And of course, we are reading books of Prabhupada only. So, this is also. Okay, so whenever we have time, we can read also. It doesn't have to be systematic. Just open any purport, like you just say Bhagavatam, just open anything, anywhere you can just read one purport. And one purport may give you so much inspiration, like whenever there is time. On our phone, we can open it, Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, and just read some purport, some verse like that. So, okay. There was once a hunter who lured birds with food. Now he's telling Yamraj is telling a story. Hiranyakashipu is telling about Yamraj, how Yamraj came as a boy to persuade the wives of Hiranyaksha, not Hiranya, of wives of Suyagna. And in that, Yamraj is telling another story or history. There was once a hunter who lured birds with food and captured them after spreading a net. So he captured all the birds. The birds, there is food, so they come and they get caught in the net. That's how fish is also captured the bait has some food, so then this fish gets hooked on that, gets on the hook. He lived as if appointed by death personified as the killer of birds. So he was killing birds. He was a hunter. He was luring birds with food and capturing them. So for birds, he was death personified. Then what happened? While wandering in the forest, the hunter saw a pair of kulinga birds. Of the two, the female was captivated by hunter's lure. So hunter had spread out his net with food in it, and the female bird got into that, was tempted to eat the food and got caught, or it was captivated so far. O queens of Suyagna, the male Kulinga bird, so she got caught also, seeing his wife put into the greatest danger in the grip of providence, became very unhappy. So the husband is looking, or the male bird is looking, and the female bird is in the trap, is caught in the net. Because of affection, the poor bird, being unable to release her, began to lament for his wife. So he was saying, "Oh, my wife, she is in such a bad situation. I cannot rescue her. I cannot rescue her." He was lamenting like that. Alas, how merciless is providence. Means, providence means God's. Merciless is God. How merciless is providence. Or you can say laws of karma, whatever. My wife, unable to be helped by anyone, is in such an awkward position. So he started saying how bad this whole thing is, destiny, and that my wife is in such an awkward position and lamenting for me. So wife is also lamenting for the husband. What will providence gain by taking away this poor bird? So what will God, everything happens under the direction of God. So what will God get by taking away my wife like this? What will be the profit? This male bird is thinking. If unkind providence takes away my wife, who is half my body, why should he not take me also? Better I also die. What is the use of living without my wife? What is the use of my living with half of my body, bereaved by loss of my wife? What shall I gain in this way? He is very attached to his wife. So, like we say, earlier wife used to immolate themselves, wives in the fire. Do sati, because the husband has died, they also want to. They feel very much. What is the use of living now my husband has died? What shall I gain in this way? So I should also. Okay. The unfortunate baby birds, bereft of their mother, are waiting in the nest for her to feed them. So my wife, we have children also, and the children are waiting. Now my wife is captured. Who is going to feed them? Well, he can feed also, but he's saying it's the mother's responsibility. They are still very small and have not yet grown their wings. How shall I be able to maintain them? So yeah, how will I raise the children alone without my spouse? How will I be able to maintain them? The bird is thinking. Okay, so it's a big purport. The bird is lamenting for the mother of his children. But because the mother naturally maintains and cares for the children. Yamraj, however, in the guise of a small boy, has already explained that although his mother left him uncared for and wandering in the forest, the tigers and other ferocious animals had not eaten him. So Yamraj also told that, despite being left alone in a forest, a child may survive. So he's talking about himself maybe. He was a little boy and he was without his father and mother, scare. and he was wandering the forest. Still, the animals had not eaten him. The real fact is that if the Supreme Personality of Godhead protects one, even though one be motherless and fatherless, one can be maintained by the goodwill of the Lord. So many orphans also, they grow up. Otherwise, if the Supreme Lord does not give one protection, one must suffer in spite of presence of his father and mother. So even though you have father and mother, if the Supreme Lord is not giving protection, still you have to suffer. Another example is that sometimes a patient dies in spite of a good physician and good medicine. This is that verse, right?
Balasya Sneha Sharanam
Narasimho Naratasya.
Agadam Udanvati Majtana Taptasya Tat Pratividirya Ihanjishishtastavadlago Tanubritam Tad Upekshita.
This verse will come later on, where Prahlad is saying, "My Lord, if you don't favor somebody, then there may be any other arrangement for protection, but they will not. Survive. So, unless if you ignore somebody, or if you don't protect, then despite all the material arrangements, still one will not. The best material arrangements, one will not survive." Another example is that sometimes a patient dies in spite of a good physician and good medicine. Thus, without the protection of the Lord, one cannot live with or without parents. So, yeah, ultimately, sanction of Lord has to be there, but we don't know, right? I mean, when we have a disease, we go to the hospital and we take treatment. But whether the treatment will work or not, the best doctors may be there, nice latest medicine may be there, but the medicine will work. Sometimes it works on one patient. The same medicine may not work for somebody else. So it's very, it's not the same for everybody. So,
Prabhuji, I just want to give an example of what happened just a couple of days ago. Son was driving from, Dallas to Austin, and it is almost a 3.5 hour drive. He stopped on the way to get some lunch and went home, and then parked his car in the garage and didn't start it till later at night to go get groceries. And when he went to start the car started, like flashing lights, and it pretended to start but didn't start, and it was just like dead. And so he called me up and he said, "I don't know what happened to the car. I drove 3.5 hours. Nothing happened. And all of a sudden now it stopped." I said, "First of all, you have to thank God that it didn't happen on the way when you stopped. And I don't know what happened." So again, like you were just mentioning, that you don't know why something happens at a certain time, but you have to appreciate the fact that it happened when it did, and not some other time when it was even more inconvenient. And you have to look at it as the grace of God, which, younger children will not look at it that way, because they will just look at a problem as a problem, rather than, oh, the problem coming at this time is better than problem at that time. Because we were supposed to have it happen anyway, but at least God was kind enough to have it at a time, send it at a time when we were at least comfortable enough to deal with it.
yeah, I mean, many times nothing happens, but so many things could have happened on the road, right? If somebody, we may be driving perfect, but somebody changes their lane in a wrong way and comes in our lane, and we hit that person. You can imagine what disaster it can happen. Like, so many people are like, they have so many problems, spinal problems, and this, and you get confined to a wheelchair. And we have been driving for so many years. Of course, accidents do happen. I mean, I'm not saying, but every time it's a dangerous. Like, as soon as you go on the road, it's very dangerous. So
Yeah. Now his car is in the dealership for last 2 days. They're trying to figure out what went wrong with the car. So it's in ICU right now. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's got
same with body.
yeah.
There can be any disease can pop up at any time.
Correct.
Some people are very fine last day, and this day they're diagnosed with the cancer, and they say you have to admit to hospital right now. I don't know how you are operating. One of the devotees told us like that. It's like karma can come at any time. You don't know. Next moment.
Every day we are living, so we take it for granted. It's another day, but yeah, so many things could have happened yesterday. And today, another day, Krishna has given me so that I can connect with Him. So, like that, we should always remember it's a bonus. Somebody was saying, after 50, whatever you live is a bonus. So, yeah, that's because, so yeah, every day is a bonus day. You should think like that because so many things could have gone wrong, but it didn't. And we are here with another day with our bead bag, an opportunity to remember Krishna, hear about Krishna, serve Krishna. So we should count our blessings and become so grateful for all that we have gotten that you should dedicate your whole life to God's service because Krishna has done so much for us. So, like that. Ultimately, that much gratitude when we have, then, yeah. Because anyway, it's going to end today or tomorrow. So, why not make a successful life? Anyway, it's all going to end. If it didn't end today, it's going to end tomorrow or day after, as Prabhupada was saying. So we have a limited time before we depart. Everybody will depart. So we have a limited time. So why not make the best use of our time, energy, money, everything, so that we can serve Krishna. Anyway, you are going to lose everything. So what is there to be so like attached to? Because it's going to go away today or tomorrow. But that's the Maya part, right? Maya part means even though we are going to lose, we are holding on to it as if it's going to be mine forever. So, and that causes anxiety also, right? Because we know in our back of our mind that it's going to be lost, but we are holding on to. As Prahlad Maharaj again he says, Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhiyam asatkrahat hitvatmapatam grihamandakupam vanam gato yadhari mashrahe. He will tell his father. When his father will ask him, what did you learn from your teachers? And he will say this verse. He says, O best of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, my dear father, what I have learned in school, that those who are attached to materialistic way of life, and he says materialistic household life, they are always in anxiety because they are holding on to things that are impermanent and they are attached on the kupam. So he's telling his father, you are also like that. So you should give up this attachment. This is like a blind well. Grihamanda kupam. It's a blind well in which you have fallen. You should give up all this and go to Vrindavan, the holy place of Krishna's pastimes, and take shelter of Hari. So the thing that he's telling his father, but his father didn't like it. But okay. Another point in this verse that is that fathers and mothers have protective feelings for their children, even in bird and beast society. So, like we have feelings for our children, the lion also, who is very fierce to the or very scary to other animals, but it loves its cubs very much. So they have also protective feelings for their children, even in bird and beast society. That's why we say, what is the difference? They have also families, you have also families, they have children, and you have also children. What is the difference? Animals also love their children like you love your child. What is the difference? Well, you can raise your child to become Krishna conscious. Animals can't do that. So Otherwise, it's common, right? So have protective feelings for their children, even in bird and beast society, not to speak of human society. Kali Yuga, however, is so degraded that a father and mother even kill their children in the womb on the plea of their scientific knowledge that within the womb the child has no life. Yeah, because they think it's like it was not. This child was not planned actually. We didn't want the child, but somehow the child happened because of sense gratification. Like teenagers, they in the school they have a relationship, and then you find out, oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, we didn't really actually didn't want the child and like that. So, and actually the child, there is no life till a certain point. Well, if there was no life, Prabhupada would say, then how is the child growing every day in the womb? If you leave it alone, then the child, so there is life because it's growing every day. So, but they, to fulfill, I mean, to have guilt-free action, they will say, oh yeah, there is no life actually. At certain point, you can still abort the child because there is no life. So we can twist and turn the philosophy to suit our whims, right? Because we want to be ultimately, we don't want to feel guilty about anything. We want to feel very good about ourselves. So we can make up our own philosophy of life. But that will not save one from the reactions. Right? I can rationalize and I can do so many things. So that's something we have to think. Yeah, we were saying yesterday, Dharman tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. What is right and what is wrong is given by God, not by you. Not you decide. Because everybody will have their opinion about what is right and wrong. Whether to eat meat is good or not. Well, who will say? Somebody will say, yeah, it's good. Somebody will say it's bad. So we have to take the opinion of the higher authorities, the scriptures. Just as law is made by the government, we cannot make our own laws. So similarly, there are universal laws which are given by the Supreme Lord. So this is sometimes difficult to accept. That, yeah, because we think, I feel so it's right. So prestigious medical practitioners give this opinion. Prabhupada is saying that that the womb within the womb has no life, and therefore the father and mother of this day killed their children within the womb. How degraded human society has become. Their scientific knowledge is so advanced. Of course, now we may say that women's rights are there. This is always an election issue, right? Abortion, whether it should be, under the control of the woman who has the child, whether she can abort her child or not, and there's always back and forth, right? So, but yeah, why are you interfering with the way I want to lead my life? Some people may say like that. I don't want to have a child because it will affect my life in a certain way. And why are you interfering? It's my right. It's my child, but it's God's child. So you didn't. Of course, there was a relationship, and the child happened. But the soul, and everything is coming from Krishna. Their scientific knowledge is so advanced that they think that within the egg and embryo there is no life. Now these so-called scientists are receiving Nobel Prizes for advancing the theory of chemical evolution, that how from chemicals life originated. But if chemical combinations are the source of life, why don't scientists manufacture something like an egg through chemistry and put it in an incubator so that a chicken will come out? What is their answer? With their scientific knowledge, they are unable to create even an egg. Such scientists, now we have test tube babies and things like that, but they take the sperm and ovum from living persons, right? You cannot manufacture sperm and ovum in the laboratory. Start from scratch with chemicals you produce, like, and then that's what Prabhupada is saying. Such scientists are described in Bhagavad Gita as Maya Aprita Jnana, fools whose real knowledge has been taken away. They are not men of knowledge, but they pose as scientists. And philosophers, although their so-called theoretical knowledge, cannot produce practical results. Yeah, so they are proposing some theory which cannot be proven. So, like that, they cannot produce practical results. So they are philosophizing and things. Okay, so we will stop there. It's 8 o'clock. Or we can read one more verse. Because of the loss of his wife, so this male bird was feeling very pained that his wife was captured, and the Kulinga bird lamented with tears in his eyes. Meanwhile, following the dictations of mature time, the hunter, who was very carefully hidden in the distance, released his arrow, which pierced the body of the Kulinga bird and killed him. So hunter was thinking, since I have captured the female bird, the male bird will also be around coming, and he was waiting, hiding, and according to his assumption, yes, the male bird came there, and then he released an arrow and killed the male bird while it was lamenting for the wife. So sad, right? It's so sad. So already male bird was feeling so sad about his wife, and then he was shot also. Very sad story. Yeah. Thus Yamraj, in the guise of a small boy, told all the queens, "You are also foolish, that you lament, but do not see your own death." So the male bird was lamenting for that female bird, but the male bird did not know that he was going to be shot the next moment by the hunter who was hiding. So this is what he's saying. You are lamenting, the queens were lamenting for the king, Suyagna, but that my husband died. But their death was also coming up. So you don't see your own death. Afflicted by a poor fund of knowledge, you do not know that even if you lament for your dead husband for hundreds of years, you'll never get him back alive. And in the meantime, your lives will be finished. Of course, we lament, right? I mean, we have feelings, we are human beings, we have emotions, right? But at the back of our mind, we should also know that everybody is a spirit soul and nobody really died. But we feel because we will not get association of that person again. So devotees are soft-hearted, right? They have emotions, they have feelings, but they also know the truth. So Arjuna is soft-hearted, right? The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, Arjuna is so soft-hearted that he doesn't want to cause pain to his grandfather and his guru who raised him and taught him. So by shooting arrows at them. But then when Krishna said, no, this is your duty, and they have sided with Duryodhana, so you have to. So he fought. So Yamaraj once asked Maharaj Yudhishthir, what is the most wonderful thing within this world? Actually, devotee has so much compassion that he does not want to give pain to anybody else. He feels, why should I give pain to others? Because if somebody were to give me pain, if I speak harshly to somebody, how will they feel? So if somebody were to speak harshly to me, how would I feel? So I would not want to do the same thing to others. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you, right? We say. So that is empathy. That is the principle of empathy, and that's why the devotee feels for others' suffering in the heart. Prabhupada felt like that. Even materially, when the children were competing with the beggar children for food, he had tears in his eyes. Yes. So there is compassion in the heart. This is the most prominent quality in a devotee, is that he is compassionate. But he also knows that the person is the soul. Everybody is the soul. And we are all suffering because we have turned away from Krishna in this material world. So he gives them Krishna. So real preaching is done out of compassion. Prabhupada was feeling compassionate for all of us in this material world. So he was writing all these books and everything, so we can be saved from the cycle of birth and death. Okay, we will finish with this. Yamraj once asked Maharaj Yudhishthir, what is the most wonderful thing within this world? Maharaj Yudhishthir replied, Mahabharat Vanaparva, Ahani Ahani Bhutani, Gachanti Ha Yamalayam, Gachanti Ha Yamalayam, Seshaha Stvaram Icchanti, Kim Ashcharyamataparam. Hundreds and thousands, so this is the most wonderful thing. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment. But a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. So every day we should be preparing for that. Most people don't make their will because they never think they'll die. Sometimes they say like that. Many people don't, because they don't want to think about death. Of course, many people do also. But many people don't, because it's not a pleasant thing to think about, that I will have to leave everything and go. But that event is happening in everybody's life, surely, as sure as death. Like we say in America, as sure as taxes, but taxes you don't pay if you don't work. But death is going to come to everybody. Other events may happen, may not happen. You may get married, you may have children, you may become a PhD or not, all these things are variable. But one thing is sure, that you are going to die, and it's going to come when we don't know. So, this is the most wonderful thing in this world. And you see around that everybody is going to die. But we think, we live our life as if this is going to be forever. Everyone has to die because everyone is fully under the control of material nature. That everyone thinks that he is independent, that whatever he likes he can do, and that he will never meet death but live forever, and so on. Especially when you are younger. So-called scientists are making various plans by which living entities in the future can live forever, but while they are pursuing such scientific knowledge, Yamraj in due course of time will take them away from their business of so-called research. So much research is going, how to stop death, how to stop aging, but meanwhile the scientist who is doing the research will die. So, like that, Prabhupada is saying. Okay. So, any comments, anybody else? We go closed. Okay, we can read some verses of Bhagavatam. 10 canto we'll read. Then we'll do the other part next time. So 10 canto, where we read till? I think we read till after Brahma's prayers, 14th chapter, then
10, 16, 16.
16, okay, yeah. Kalia we were reading. So till 16, from 16 we have to start, okay. So Krishna has gone without his brother Balram, and Krishna has got, now is trapped in the coils of Kalia, and they are experiencing bad omen and like that. So they are very worried, Krishna's father and mother, especially because his elder brother has not gone also, and there is bad omen. So they are trying to find out where is Krishna, what has happened to him. So, and then they rushed out of their homes to find out Krishna. They thought today Krishna is surely, he will die or something like that, they were saying. Okay, so 16. We can read 5 verses. Yeah.
I can read, Prabhu.
Okay.
The Supreme Lord Balaram, the master of all transcendental knowledge, smiled and said nothing when he saw the residents of Vrindavan in such distress, since he understood the extraordinary power of his younger brother. The residents hurried toward the banks of the Yamuna in search of their dearmost Krishna, following the path marked by his footprints, which... I'm sorry?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. Following the path marked by his footprints, which bore the unique signs of the personality of Godhead. The footprints of Lord Krishna, the master of the entire cowherd community, were marked with the lotus flower, barley corn, elephant goad, thunderbolt, and flag. My dear King Parikshit, seeing his footprints on the path among the cow's hoofprints, the residents of Vrindavan rushed along in great haste. As they hurried along the path to the bank of the Yamuna River, pardon my voice, it's still coming and going, they saw from a distance that Krishna was in the lake, motionless within the coils of the black serpent. They further saw that the cowherd boys had fallen unconscious and that the animals were standing on all sides, crying out for Krishna. Seeing this, the residents of Vrindavan were overwhelmed with anguish and confusion. When the young gopis, whose minds were constantly attached to Krishna, the unlimited Supreme Lord, saw that he was now within the grips of the serpent, they remembered his loving friendship, his smiling glances, and his talks with them. Burning with great sorrow, they saw the entire universe as void. Although the elder gopis were feeling...
Okay, we read five like so. Five.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
So
any reflection, like, you want to say something on this verse or anybody else? The 5 verses that you read, you want to say anything, or anybody else want to say anything? So they went to find Krishna, but how do they find Krishna? So it says that he has some...
They follow his footprints. That's how they know where Krishna is. And nobody walks on Krishna's footprints.
That's amazing how it happens. We don't know. But so many cows are there, but they say they never step on wherever Krishna has put his footprint or stepped on the land, that part, they see the footprint and they never walk on it. So it's preserved. And so they'll track the footprints of Krishna and somehow reach the bank of Yamuna. And there they see this scene. The cowherd boys have fallen unconscious. Why? Because they saw Krishna in the grips of Kaliya and they could not see. They could not bear the separation. So that trauma caused them to fall unconscious. In this world also, like when you lose a dear one or when you see a loved one in danger, then you just may fall unconscious. So, and everybody was crying for Krishna, seeing him in the grips of Kaliya. Okay. So gopis also came, and they have the most intense attachment. So they were remembering all the times they had with Krishna, his smiling glances, his talks, and everything. And everything appeared like a void. Because, when a loved one dies, then for some few days you feel like nothing interests you. It is called Smashan Vairagya. It is called the detachment one feels at the crematorium, which lasts maybe for a few days and then things go back to normal. But so they were feeling that void, but they were so attached to Krishna. So it's not like they were just, they were feeling nothing is making any sense now that Krishna is in the grips of Kaliya. Okay, so the next 5, who will read the next 5?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Go ahead.
Although the elder gopis were feeling just as much distress as Shri and were pouring forth a flood of sorrowful tears, they had to forcefully hold back Krishna's mother, whose consciousness was totally absorbed in her son. Standing like corpse, with their eyes fixed upon his face, these gopis each took turns recounting the pastimes of the darling of Raja. Lord Balarama then saw that Nanda Maharaj and other cowherd men who had dedicated their very lives to Krishna, were begging to enter the serpent's lake. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balarama fully knew Lord Krishna's actual power, and therefore he restrained them. The Lord remained for some time within the coils of the serpent, imitating the behavior of an ordinary mortal. But when he understood that the women, children, and other residents of his village of Gokula were in acute distress because of their love for him,
their only shelter and goal in life, he immediately rose up from the bonds of the Kaliya serpent. His coils, tormented by the expanding body of the Lord, Kaliya released him. In great anger, the serpent then raised his horse high and stood still, breathing heavily. His nostrils appeared like vessels for cooking poison, and the start staring eyes in his face like firebrands. Thus the serpent looked at the Lord. Again and again, Kalia licked his lips with his bifurcated tongues as he started at Krishna with a glance full of terrible poisonous fire. But Krishna playfully circled around him, just as Garuda would play with a snake. In response, Kalia also moved about, looking for an opportunity to bite the Lord.
Any comments here? Yeah. Yashoda wanted to go and rescue her son, but she was held back because she saw her son in, I mean, to see your son in the grips of a deadly snake. Any mother would feel so like pain, like, and want to do something to rescue him. So she wanted to go, but they were, and all the other cowherd men, they wanted to go, but Balram, he restrained them from going because Balram knew that the snake is going to cannot do anything. others had others those who wanted to save Krishna, they were thinking him like as their son. And the coward friends were thinking also, he's my friend, he's in danger. That for a moment they had forgotten that he is God actually. But Balram is knowing that. So he says nothing is going to happen to Krishna. So he was not at all disturbed, and he was smiling also. It doesn't say that here, but yeah, because he knew Krishna's power. And Krishna also does all this to increase the intensity of longing for him. So he remained in the coils of Kaliya for quite some time, because so that everybody would be like so much in intense separation and longing for Krishna to come back like that. And then he realized now it's too much, this is affecting them too much. So he expanded himself, and then what happened? Kaliya's coils could not hold him because there was tension in the coils. So there was tension in the coils, so he could not hold him, and then he jumped up on the head of Kaliya. And Kaliya was trying to catch him, but he was jumping from one place to another, and he wanted to bite him. He wanted to bite Krishna, but Krishna was so agile and so much moving so fast that he was not able to bite him. So he was circling around. Okay. So next 5 verses we'll read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So in Ramayana, the mood of a Jatayu, when he was fighting with Ravana, right? So even though he knew he is not strong enough even to fight, and he probably knew he's probably not gonna even win, but still he proceeded and fought, right? So we see different moods of the devotee here. Like some devotees even go further, put their own lives in risk, fight, and do the seva. But here mood is different. Here probably devotees they just stay at the bank of the Yamuna. They may not go further. And I know because fighting with the Kaliya is again putting our own life in risk. But we cannot compare. These are different moods. But in Ramayana, we see the mood of Jatayu, where he didn't even consider about his own life.
Yeah, that's true. Then some people may think that was not a very intelligent thing to do, because Jatayu, he knew he was no match for Ravana. Still he is doing. He is not going to be successful. He knows from the very beginning, right? That's what you are saying, that it may not be considered very intelligent. Because although you know that you are going to be defeated, you are still fighting. So why do that? Also, the question may come. I'm taking it further, what you are saying. Yeah, why do that? Actually, here also they wanted, had Balram not restrained them, they would have gone inside the lake. But Balram is restraining them. Don't go like that. Yashoda wanted to go. It says here, right, in this. Lord Balram fully knew Lord Krishna's actual power, and therefore he restrained them. So they stopped. Otherwise, they would have also gone. But the question may come also, right? Like for Jatayu, that since you brought up this point, that sometimes we know it's not going to be successful. So should we fight or should we not fight? I mean, fight or do something. Not fight means like, here it was a physical fight, but should we do something if it's not going to be successful, even if it's the right thing to do? I mean, is it the right thing to do or not, first of all, because you're not going to be successful. So,
Actually, what Jatayu, we have discussed this previously. This
Murat.
Ravan had found out the moment, which is like if you steal something in that moment, the owner will never get it back. So Jatayu knew about that, and it's mentioned in Ramayana. He knew he had to just change the Murat, fight till the point that the Murat changes, that he keeps Sita, and then the Murat changed to the point that if something is stolen, it is returned to the owner. So in that regards, I mean, you may say that it's nothing like that Muhurat thing, but Lord Ram was very pleased with his
But it's in
service.
Ramayana, so Jatayu must be thinking like that. Yeah, so yeah, correct. So yeah, he was trying to delay Ravan from going like in that. So that way Sita would come back. So in his mind there was he knew he was going to die, but still in his mind it was like success, because he ended up delaying Ravan in taking Sita. So he was thinking like that if I delay. So sometimes intention, and of course we say intention matters, not the result. So intention, but some devotees may think, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this devotional service is different from material life, where if you start a college and you don't finish it, then you're a failure. It will not give you any result. But anything done for Krishna, Neha Bikaman Ashwasti Pratyavai, it is for eternity your benefit. Even though there may be a failure in that attempt and you may not get the result, but anything that you do for Krishna is eternal benefit.
yes, yeah, like Prabhupada, somebody told Prabhupada, you're not preaching in Muslim countries. In Pakistan, there is nobody preaching there Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada told Brahmananda, okay, you go to Pakistan. Now it's a risk to go to Pakistan and preach there, right? I mean, it's a risk. And then the war started. And then Prabhupada wrote that those days there was a telegram or something. And then he said, please come back fast. Come back. Don't stay there. So, had Prabhupada known that there was going to be a war before, then he would not have sent Brahmananda like that. I mean, so sometimes, yeah, we have to be intelligent. Sometimes devotees do go in war zones and preach, like in all this Slovakia and all this. There were a lot of fighting going on for a long time. So I don't know which was not Estonia. There's some in the. So they were fighting, but devotees were going out. They were distributing prasadam. They were where bullets were flying. Now you may say, well, should we go or not go in that situation? Yeah. So you are saying that some devotees can take risks, like Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. He tried to get books into Russia, right? Knowing that if he would be caught, then he would be imprisoned or tortured. So So some devotees take that risk. Prabhupada himself took the risk, like of coming to the West, not knowing what awaited him in the West, like where is he going to stay and what kind of food he's going to get and everything, nothing. So, and taking that arduous journey on the ship for 35 days or so. So that is all, it's up to. But we have to also sometimes devotees say, you don't take risks which are like, because you could do much more. If you lose your life, then you may not be able to serve Krishna, right? That is, you don't do certain things which. So it depends upon you, and then you take advice and all that from others, and then you say how much I risk I can take. But in material world, everything is a risk also. Like as I was saying, you take your car out on the road, it's a risk. You may get into an accident. But yeah, how much risk we want to take, that's up to us. Okay. And we should not what you can say, criticize others who may not be willing to take risk because they are afraid. So we do what we have to do in devotional service, but everybody is not at the same, so everybody's mentality is different. So, okay. Anything else? Vaishali wanted to say something. I don't know if she wanted to say something.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No.
Go ahead. No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else wanted to say something?
Even in Gaura Lila, Prabhu, yesterday I was watching one.
Go ahead. We can't hear you now. It's Madhukanda. Gaura Lila, what?
Can you hear me now?
Gaurav or Gaura? Gaura Lila.
Gaura Lila, Jagai Madai pastime, and
it's a risk.
Where we see like Nityananda Prabhu, I mean, his mood, even approaching first time to Jagai Madai, if it come to for us, like if I know there is like a gunda sitting in our colony and we have to go and say, I don't think I have that courage. But we.
But you know, Nityananda Prabhu is God. So that's also a little different. But of course, he came as a devotee like that. But Nityananda Prabhu is the Supreme Lord also. We are not God, but yeah, Prabhupada took some risk like living in Bauri and so many things. So, where his life was threatened also. So how much we want to take, like that's up to us. And then according to our intelligence, So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, they went to the most fearful people in Nadia. Everybody would run away from. We had that documentary. If you have seen that documentary, did you see the documentary of Jagai and Madai? And
which one, bro?
Somebody forwarded me this.
Okay.
I think Umakan Prabhu forwarded in this chat also, in this Teams chat also.
Okay, bro. Okay, I'll check it.
Yeah. So.
Prabhuji, I wanted to say something like while you were giving the class, there was mention of that in context to small boy in the forest. If God's protection is there with the child, even though he might be mother not having parents, will be protected. So again, it all depends on the karma that the child would have done in the previous life, because in this life as a child does not understand what is bhakti and
practically, if we see like at very tender age, right, at age of like 1 or 2, if you teach like what is bhakti and all this philosophical studies, probably it's very hard for a child to understand. So in that case, like the child has not done, I mean, would have done some bhakti in the previous life. As a part of that only, he gets protection as a child, like in this age, if they have been born, right? Like, but some children like suffering from major diseases at a very tender age. So like children are both children, right? Like, but some child are getting suffering and some child are getting protection. So it is all based on the previous karma that they have carried with them, that they get protection or they get suffering. Because as a child, I think none of the child doing bhakti at age of like a baby phase.
Okay. So next 5 we'll read.
I can read. Having severely depleted the serpent's strength with his relentless circling, Sri Krishna, the origin of everything, pushed down Kaliya's raised shoulders and mounted his broad serpentine heads. Thus Lord Sri Krishna, the original master of all fine arts, began to dance, his lotus feet deeply reddened by the touch of the numerous jewels upon the serpents' heads. Seeing the Lord dancing, his servants in the heavenly planets, the Gandharvas, Siddhas, sages, Charnas, and the wives of the demigods immediately arrived there. With great pleasure, they began accompanying the Lord's dancing by playing drums such as mridangas, panavas, and anakas. They also made offerings of songs, flowers, and prayers. My dear king, Kaliya had 101 prominent heads, and when one of them would not bow down, Lord Sri Krishna, who inflicts punishment on cruel wrongdoers, would smash that stubborn head by striking it with his feet. Then, as Kaliya entered his death throes, he began wheeling his heads around and vomiting ghastly blood from his mouth and nostrils. The serpent thus experienced extreme pain and misery. Exuding poisonous waste from his eyes, Kaliya would occasionally dare to raise up one of his heads, which would breathe heavily with anger. Then the Lord would dance on it and subdue it, forcing it to bow down with his foot. The demigods took each of these exhibitions as an opportunity to worship him, the primeval personality of Godhead, with showers of flowers. My dear King Parikshit, Lord Krishna's wonderful, powerful dancing trampled and broke all of Kaliya's 1,000 hoods. Then the serpent, profusely vomiting blood from his mouth, finally recognized Sri Krishna to be the eternal personality of Godhead, the supreme master of all moving and non-moving beings, Sri Narayan. Thus within his mind, Kaliya took shelter of the Lord. Yeah, so Krishna started to dance on the hoods of Kali, and there were 1,000 hoods. It's 101 prominent heads, it says over there, but then it says 1,000 hoods, right? Below. 1,000 hoods. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this Kaliya was raising his hoods, and one which was not bound down, Krishna was smashing that hood so that he bows down. And then in his mind, Kaliya took shelter of the Lord, and Krishna understood it. That's when he stopped. Kaliya recognized Krishna's supremacy. So I mean, afterwards, the Kaliya's wives are going to pray. That is there. Krishna is going to be pleased with their prayers, but also Krishna knows the heart of all jivas, what is going on in their heart. So Krishna has understood that Kaliya has taken shelter of him. And all these demigods above, they are noting down Krishna's steps, right? They are playing mridanga and kartal along with the dancing that Krishna is doing, also showering flowers. And he's vomiting out blood
from his mouth and nostrils, and poisonous waste from his eyes. So all his poisonous stuff is going out, right? Is being thrown out. His poison. So Kalia represents envy, right? So his poison of envy is being removed. And if you're not humble, you will be humbled, right? So Krishna smashes our pride, makes us humble. That is Krishna's mercy. Not that he wants us to bow down to him. It is for our benefit that we should. And so he arranges for a situation where he smashes us, our hoods, our pride.
Okay. So Krishna is Natavar. Our deity is Natavar. So the best of the dancers, right? So whether he dances in Ras Leela or he dances on the hoods of Kalia, which are moving, it's very amazing to look at Krishna's dancing. Like in this world, so many people go. Michael Jackson, right? Oh, how much he was so popular with breakdance, right? Whatever he did. So we like to see nice dancing, and so when we go to the spiritual world, we can see Krishna's dancing, which is like nobody else's because he's the best of all dancers. So
Every step is a dance in the spiritual world, and Krishna's Ras Leela pastime is the supremost, where he's dancing with the gopis.
yeah, and like here also in Gujarat we have Garba, right? So many people go to dance, right, with their stakes and things like that. So it's very attractive to many people. So dancing is very attractive. They like to dance.
That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu included dancing in our Sankirtan, chanting, dancing, and feasting.
Yeah.
There is a party going on.
Yeah. And then after dancing, you like nice food, nice feast, and nice music. So everything is incorporated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took people like food, music, and dancing. So in our Krishna consciousness, we have all the three: prasadam, music, and dancing. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attracts us by his dancing. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance, it was like everybody was mesmerized. So, okay.
And there is an incident, right? Like the forest, in the forest also animals started dancing when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the forest of Jharkhand. Okay.
Yes.
I heard some class.
Yeah, he can make anybody dance. So, because he's the super soul, and when you get love for God, you become so ecstatic. And uh, how do you manifest that ecstasy? How do you show that ecstasy is by dancing? Like in this world, if something very good happens, you've won a lottery, right? Let's say 100 million or something. Then what will you? In your home, you will start dancing, jumping and dancing, right? If you have attachment for money, assuming, let's say, then you'll start dancing and you'll be in so much ecstasy. You'll call your friend and say, "Oh, see, I won such a big lottery. I have so much money now. I don't need to work one day in my life again. Got so much money." You become very excited. So, like in marriages also, they dance, right? Because okay, I'm getting married to the person I wanted to get married to. It's dancing party, and all the friends are very happy that our friend got married, like that. So there is dancing. It is all material dancing because it is not related to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can dance for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. It is not to show off, right? How good dancer I am, and things like that. In material world, everybody is like, they want to be in the limelight. But we should dance for Krishna.
And if you dance in front of deities, all your sinful reactions are destroyed.
Yeah. So the consciousness with which we dance is also important. Just like with the consciousness with which we chant the holy name is also there. Consciousness with which we play mridanga and all these things, musical, what is behind it? So is it to please Krishna or not? So that's basically. Of course, you may say, why Krishna wants to see my dancing? His dancing is much more. So same can be applied. What does Krishna do with my cooking? He has so many devotees there in the spiritual world who are cooking for him. So he has got everything in. But we are experiencing ecstasy, and we are dancing. We are feeling so happy to see Krishna and to be in the kirtan that we dance. We're feeling so happy, so much happiness. So that naturally comes out as dancing. But it doesn't mean somebody who doesn't dance is not feeling ecstasy. He may feel ecstasy in another way, or he may not be dancing so vigorously, but he is meditating on Krishna and like that. So we don't have to judge anybody. Okay, but people like to dance. Okay, so the next 5 we will read tomorrow because it's 8:40, and we want you to say something or saying whatever you want or.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I just wanted to say something like nowadays people want to live a holistic life, right? Which is on the body, mind, spirit. I feel like Krishna consciousness is a perfect approach to live a holistic life because for our mind, we have this nice box. For our body, we have nice prasadam. And for our spirit, we have nice chanting. So like all this combination of all this process makes like perfect life, like and the way people want to really like nourish their mind, body, soul. Krishna consciousness is perfect opportunity to use and live that kind of life.
Yeah, so Krishna says it's a very what process? What kind of process? It's a very joyful process. Yes. Susukham kartum abhyayam, Krishna says. It's very joyful. It's joyfully performed and it gives you self-realization. You don't have to do austerities like go to the Himalayas or something, all this. So you can be very joyfully serving Krishna and you can get all realizations which the yogis get after so much endeavor. You can get all those very joyfully. You don't have to do so much austerity like the yogis. Of course, we have to do some austerity, but not any severe austerity. So it's nice process. Okay. So anything else anybody like to?
I can sing one bhajan. Paste it. Okay, so this is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. मानसो देहो गेहो जो किछु मोर आर पियू तुआ पदे नंद किशोर संपदे विपदे जीवन मराने गेला तुआ पद बराने मारो भी राखो भी जो इच्छा तुहार नित्य दास प्रति तुआ अधिकार जन्म भी मोय इच्छा जदी तोर भक्त ग्रहे जनी जन्मा हुए मोर कीट जन्मा हुआ धीर्मुखा ब्रह्म जन्मी ना जे भक्ता
लभैते ताको संगा अनुरक्ता जनक जननी दैता तनय प्रभु गुरु पति तु हो सर्वमय भक्ति विनोद कहे सुनो कान्हा राधा नाथ पराना मानसो देहो गेहो जो किछु मोर किशोर. Translation: Mind, body, family, and whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet, O youthful son of Nanda. In good fortune or in bad, in life or at death, all my difficulties have disappeared by choosing those feet of yours as my only shelter. Slay me or protect me as you wish, for you are the master of your eternal servant. If it is your will that I be born again, then may it be in the home of your devotee. May I be born again even as a worm, as long as I remain your devotee. I have no desire to be born as a Brahma who is averse to you. I yearn for the company of that devotee who is completely devoid of all desire for worldly enjoyment or liberation. Father, mother, lover, son, lord, preceptor and husband, you are everything to me. Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, O Kanha, please hear me. O Lord of Radha, you are my life and soul. So this is Atmanivedan song. I mean, we have been I have been reading Bali Maharaj's pastime, and this is what Bali Maharaj did. He knew Shukracharya had warned him. He told him that this boy that has come, he is asking these 3 steps of land, but he's going to take away everything from you. In one step, he's going to take lower and middle planetary system. In second step, he's going to take upper planetary system. And where would he keep his third step? So all of this, future events was predicted and was told by Shukracharya to Bali Maharaj. But Bali Maharaj says, if Lord has come to take away everything, is his only, nothing is mine, so he can take away. And for his third step, he offered him his head. And as we were discussing, anyways, everything will be taken away from us at some point in our life. Everything will be taken away from us. Either, people will steal it, or it will be lost, or at the time of death, of course, when we lose our body, everything related to the body will be taken away. But if we give to Krishna while we are alive, then that is our benefit. So giving our body, our mind, our words to Krishna, that is Atmanivedan, Prana, Artha, Dhiya, Vacha, our life, our wealth, our intelligence, our words dedicated to serving Krishna, that is Atmanivedan. So he's saying everything is yours only. I've surrendered at your feet, my mind, my body, my family. And whatever happens in my life, good things or bad things, I just take shelter of you. All my difficulties just disappear in taking shelter at your feet. And I am yours, so you can kill me or you can protect me. It doesn't matter. I'm your property. And but my wish is that if I have to take another birth, then I should be born in the house of a devotee, and I should remain a devotee. I should never become any person, great person like Brahma, but be envious of you, be averse to you. I don't want to be like that. I'm okay to be born even as a worm. And my wish is that I always stay in the association of devotees who are pure devotees. They don't have any desires to enjoy in this world. In their association, I will advance. And you are everything to me. You are my father, you are my mother, you are my lover, you are my husband, and you are my life and soul. So yeah, so I mean, these sort of prayers we can read, I mean, before starting our chanting rounds that can orient our mind. And these are the prayers that we should be praying to, as we were discussing in the beginning, how to prepare for good japa session. Just read one bhajan of some acharya and, be in that mood. I just want to be your devotee. You can place me anywhere. I want the association of your pure devotees. You are everything to me. I have nothing to ask from you.
you. I've surrendered my life to you. So all these thoughts can help us do a nice chanting session. Yeah, I mean, this Japa Affirmation 2.0 book by Mahatma Das Prabhu is amazing. I saw Sachinandan Maharaj also use his book in the Holy Name Retreat. I think Prabhuji has that book. We can read one affirmation every day. This is one. This is Japa Affirmation 1. There is a 2.0 book, which is a small book. I pasted the other link of that if people don't have it. I was thinking we can read one affirmation every day, and with one affirmation, there is a write up also. There is a purport to that affirmation. So, I mean, we can paste it in the chat in the morning so we all can contemplate on that one affirmation while chanting to help. I think, Prabhuji, you have that book. This book, you have to find it probably. But all these affirmations are very nice, and there's a purport to each one of them. You are mute. Are you speaking something?
No, I was trying to say that if there is there a Kindle version available? Then we can share it on the.
No, I don't think there is a Kindle version right now. I can do a screenshot and post pictures for each affirmation. It's just 2 pages.
Like you made the PDF.
Yeah, I can make.
I mean, I don't know how many.
I can just post pictures of each affirmation every day, and we can read one.
Okay.
Let me do that right now. Just pictures of the 2 pages. Okay, I'm pasting it in the Teams chat. India.
I purchased one. I think
Yeah. He came to Columbus and he gave all these books. You have it. Okay, I pasted it also. You can read.
Okay, let's see. Oh, in the chat. Should I share this here? Is it down? No, it's what it is. It's yeah. So everybody can look at it if you want, or I can share this here. I am the most.
Yeah, you can zoom it also. Yeah, that's good.
Most fortunate person because I have the holy name. Therefore, I begin my japa by thanking Krishna for coming to me in the form of his holy name. Do we feel that we are the most fortunate person in the universe? Generally, we don't like because we think, I don't have this, I don't have that. But I got the holy name, so I'm most fortunate. And others are also, it's not I am only most fortunate, but yeah, those who are chanting the holy name are the most fortunate people, and I am one of them. So, Krishna is okay. Then, what is this saying? Why am I the most fortunate person in the universe? Because I have Krishna's association at any time I want. This is like a portable USB drive, we say. You can take it with you anytime and plug it in and access. No matter where I am, simply by vibrating his name. Even though I am not qualified or deserving of his association. See, in humility, 3 things we are supposed to remember. I am not the doer, I don't deserve, and I am servant. These are 3 qualities, right, for humility. I am not the doer. Of course, when you do bad things, yes, but I don't deserve. But still I am getting. Then you will be very grateful. And
also, humility means helplessness. Nothing can protect me in my time of distress other than Krishna. That also definition. And I don't need anything from anybody. I'm very insignificant. I guess you have mentioned one who's not anxious of having the satisfaction of being honored by others. Why should anybody honor me? I'm very insignificant. I'm disqualified. I have no qualification.
Yeah, correct. Trinada Pisuniche. I'm lower than everybody, so why everybody should respect me? Even though I'm not qualified for or deserving of his association. Yeah, I'm not. I don't deserve. He still dances on my tongue, fully present as deity, made of sound. Whenever I recite his name, for this I'm unlimitedly grateful. Nothing is greater than an intimate relationship with Krishna, and I can have that simply by vibrating his name.
I was also sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that there is nothing better than to have a relationship with Krishna, and I can get that. So there are so many relationships, but this is the most nothing. No relationship comes closer to this. That's what. Of course, with pure devotees, we can have that also. That's all. Okay, go ahead.
See, Krishna is dancing on the tongue, like Krishna is dancing on Kalia. I think there was a comparison made, right? My tongue is like Kalia. So much poison, it is there. I speak poisonous words. So Krishna is purifying my tongue. And the tongue is purified, all other senses are purified. Krishna is dancing on my tongue, like some meditation as Krishna is dancing on Kalia.
Yeah, there is a lot of envy in my heart. So one Sachidananda Maharaj also says when we chant Hare Krishna, we should think Krishna is in the holy name is vibrating in my heart. And we also say when the room is dirty and when you clean it, then all the poison is coming out. Like Kalia, when Krishna was dancing, all the poison was coming out. So similarly, when Krishna is dancing, then all the anarthas are coming out. We know, we can recognize all the anarthas that we have. And then as Krishna continues to dance, then all the poison is removed ultimately. So, yeah, when our chanting is hackneyed, we means not
Mechanical.
Yeah, when we are just trying to get our rounds done, then our level of appreciation is low or absent. Yeah. So somehow or other we have to tell our mind that this is the most important event I'm going to do in my day today, is the chanting of the holy name. So we have to tell this, you don't feel its importance, but this is the most important thing I'm going to do with my time today. So chanting. Appreciation is such a powerful emotion that it can immediately transform our japa into a sweet and relishable experience. Appreciating what we have gotten like that, in positive frame of mind, what we have gotten. When we are relishing japa, it always means our appreciation level is high. So sometimes you may think we are making up like our mind like that, It's actually I'm not feeling the taste, but we are forcing. Yes, Prabhupada says you have to force. Because it is actually, I am not able to understand the importance because it is not, but when you actually relish the japa, then yeah, you feel so, I wish I had so many tongues and so many years I could keep chanting. Like Rupa Goswami is relishing his japa. So, if our taste is lacking and we are finding it difficult to chant with devotion and absorption, then it is good to remind ourselves of our great fortune in having the holy name by saying, "Thank you, Krishna." This will immediately turn our japa around 180 degrees. Yes, appreciation is that powerful. If we are chanting just to get our rounds done, we are showing Krishna that we don't appreciate the blessings.
Now there is a third picture. If you cross this, get out of this screen. Yeah, there's a third picture.
Okay. Yeah, when we are chanting, we are not appreciating the blessings of the holy name. although we actually intellectually we understand the value of the holy name, taking our chanting merely a duty or ritual shows to Krishna that we don't value japa. Krishna that we don't value japa merely as a duty or ritual. And if we show Krishna that we don't value japa, then how can we expect him to reciprocate with us by giving us taste? But simply saying thank you shows to Krishna and to ourselves that we value this opportunity to connect with him through his names, and thus he reciprocates accordingly. Otherwise, it is as if we are telling Krishna that spending time with him is boring, even troublesome. Then we start thinking that japa is getting in the way of it, getting in the way of so many important things we have to do, when the reality is that while chanting, all other things going on in our lives are distracting us from focusing on hearing the name. If we are not appreciating the opportunity to have Krishna's association during japa, then we are really telling him that we don't like his name, that we find saying his name cumbersome and not at all pleasing. It is no wonder that we can't develop a taste if we are communicating to Krishna through our feelings that we don't like to chant. This is the exact opposite of appreciation. Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra says that the way to deal with negatives is to act positively. That is in the exact opposite fashion. Therefore, the proper antidote to hackneyed japa is appreciation, one of the most positive emotions we can experience. Okay, and that's like I like to chant, I want to chant, I love to chant. It's like, actually we may not have that much taste, but we can also say that, I want taste. So, whatever it is that works so that we can. And Prabhupada, that's why he says that one who realizes the holy name is Krishna is going to become a pure devotee. There is no difference between the holy name and Krishna. He is a pure devotee, or even though he may be in the neophyte stage, but he will become pure because now you are, when you chant, then you are remembering, know that this is Krishna, Hare Krishna, this is Radharani. Whenever I say Hare Hare, it's Radhe Radhe, you are saying basically. So we are associating with Radharani, Krishna like that through their name. Okay, so we will be more attentive. The Supreme Lord, if he comes to our house, many times people say, what will you do? Will you look at your phone? Will you ignore him? So Krishna is there coming in the form of sound. He's there. And of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, offensive chanting is not actual chanting also. He says like that. But yeah, from offensive chanting slowly as our aparadh becomes less. And we come to Shuddhanam ultimately. And then we relish the full taste of the holy name. When we chant Shuddhanam. Okay, so
also there's, there's several verses in Bhagavatam. This verse spoken by Devahuti, Aho Bato Suva Pachoto Garyan, Jivagre Vartate Namatubhyam. So she's saying that those who are chanting the holy name, they have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all good manners of the Aryans, been to all holy places of pilgrimage, studied all the Vedas and fulfilled everything required to be able to chant the holy name right now. So we have done so much in the past to be able to get this holy name. Now that we have this holy name, we are inattentive. We're not understanding the value. To be able to chant the holy name, we had done so much austerity and sacrifices. And now that we got it, we should be understand it's like very valuable gem that we have gotten. And use it properly to our benefit. So many lifetimes we were in the wrong paths or struggling and suffering. But now is the time to get out of this material world using the holy name, but still we are relaxed.
Okay, so 9 o'clock now. Anything else?
Yeah, it seems it's snowing outside, so I don't know about the Bhaktisiddhanta festival at the temple. And the roads also covered now with snow. It's going to continue till 11 or noon.
I thought the snow is going to melt here now. It's more snow.
No, Prabhuji, the weather is so bad. I was about to hit, but God saved me. Krishna saved me. But be careful whenever you go outside. It's really bad outside.
Okay, so we'll see at 12 o'clock. I have to do the Pushpamanjans. I have to make a payment, but we'll see. If it is bad, then can't go. Okay, thank you everyone. We can read about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur today.
Yeah. Yes, in the evening.
Yeah. We can start a little early. Somebody is going to come to my home for some books, but we can start a little early by 5 maybe. Or so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is a lecture from Giriraj Maharaj. We got one lecture on Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And read that also. Okay, thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.